Hey everybody, it's Tim, the Piano Fool, and welcome to Piano Fool Principles. And in this video, what we're going to talk about is the basics of the piano. So the first thing that we want to talk about is understanding kind of what these keys are and how to recognize patterns on the piano. If you notice, and you might know some of this information already, but I'm going to share with you some other information they may not know that will be helpful for you. So if you notice, each of the black keys are grouped into sets of 2 or 3. 2, 3, 2, 3. And that just continues that pattern all the way up and down the piano. It never changes. And what we want to do to start out is to find middle C, okay? And depending on how many keys you have on your piano, that can change. Like, this is a full 88 keyboard. There's 66 and there's some smaller, but what you want to do is find the middlemost C. And to find the C, you go to the group of 2 black keys that is in the centermost part of the piano. And the C lies just below that first black key in the group of 2. So like right here, these are my centermost group of 2. And so I will look below here, and that's where I find my middle C every time. And once you start to know the notes, you'll know, okay, well that's middle C, because you'll know that that's a C key, and you'll be able to find it very quickly. So the next thing I kind of want to talk about is looking at these individual notes within an octave. And let me tell you what an octave is. An octave is just from one note, like let's say C, down to the next note of itself, which is C, or up to the next note of itself, which is C, okay? And this octave is made up of all of these keys within it, okay? So let's take a look at those keys just real quick. And we're just going to start with this C right here and work our way up, because this pattern repeats itself over and over again. So we have a C, and then we're going to go up 1/2 step, and that's going to be your C sharp or your D flat. And the reason it could be either one is because depending on the key that you're playing in, it changes. And don't worry about that right now. Just understand that these black keys, depending on what you're playing in, could be a sharp or a flat. But don't get concerned about it, okay? I'm just going to use this as to go over these keys just to show you what they are. So like here's the C. We're going to go up to C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, and back to C. Now remember, some of those could be flats depending on where we're playing in, but don't worry about that. So what we just did there was lay out the notes that each one of these keys represents. Okay, what I want to talk about is in between this octave, you have 12 half steps. Okay? And a half step is simply from one note to the next note, above or below, no matter where you're at. So this is my middle C. This is C. If somebody says go up 1/2 step, I'm going to go up to this C sharp or D flat right here. If somebody says go down 1/2 step, I'm going to go down to this B. It's the very next key, up or down, is 1/2 step. Now, if we want to go 2 half steps, we just add 2 half, or we want to go 1 whole step, we add 2 half steps together. So if we want to go up 1 whole step from C, we're at C, so we'd go up 1/2 step, 2 half steps to get to D. Okay, so that's just adding 2 half steps together to get 1 whole step. Now, if we want to go down, we go down 1/2 step, add another half step, and that is 1 whole step down from C, which gets us to B flat or A sharp. Okay, so that's a real quick explanation of half steps and whole steps, and how they're grouped into octaves. Now, to close this video out, I want to give you a reason why that's important. And we'll go into detail about it more in a later video, but why that's important is because let's just say you're playing in a song that's in the key of C. Okay? and somebody says to you, wow, that's too high for me to sing. So they want to sing it down, let's say 3 half steps. So you're going to look at this. You're playing your first chord in that song, let's say is C. You're going to go to the root of that chord, which is C, and you're going to go down 3 half steps, right? 1, 2, 3 half steps down from C, which means that is an A. Okay? So now what they're saying is 3 half steps down from C is going to start you on your root as an A. Now, what that means is if you're playing, let's say that song you're in, the chord progression, let's just say was C, G, A. Okay? So C, I'm going to jump down here just so I don't run out of room, but C, if they say if it's C, G, A, you're going to know that this G is going to go down 3 half steps and this A is going to go down 3 half steps. So a song that we were playing C, G, A. Now, if we take this G down 3 half steps, 1, 2, 3, that means we're going to be playing an E. And if we take this A down 3 half steps, 1, 2, 3, that means we're going to be playing an F sharp. Okay? So that's just, and we're going to go into transposing more later. But that's how that takes that song from C, G, A, too high for somebody. We're going to take it down and we're going to play it in A, E, F sharp. And it's the same thing, it's just we're playing it down a little bit. That may seem a little bit heady right now, but you're going to have a big aha moment later when you really get into the other videos that really explain how to transpose like that. So that is Piano Full Principles, and that's the basic part of the piano, and I look forward to seeing you in another video.